There's something about being on the water and just the freedom it allows you when you're rowing, because there's no limitations in the water. When I first began rowing, I was just like, I was happy to be on the water, I was happy to be moving, I was happy to be doing it. Now it's how fast can I go? It's going on the water and going on the water with a purpose. At the moment, that means possibly going to national team trials, and if I look further, I'd like to say 2028 would be a great goal to have. When I lost my leg, I was very determined to not let that be the end. Before my disability and before my accident and everything happened, I had other ideas of what I wanted to do with my life and how I thought my life would pan out. Now being disabled, I live a very different lifestyle in more than one way. I'm far more active, ironically, than I was before I was disabled. One of those things of when you can't, you want to do. And when I was in rehab and I had a lot of people saying I wasn't gonna do these things and this was life, and like these were things that like reality checks, and a lot of doctors who I think kind of counted me out, I kind of just decided, fuck it, I'm gonna do it and watch me. And as I got more into it and more competitive, and I was like, wait, I'm really good at this. I really love this. I love the community, I love the people, I love feeling the burn after an amazing workout. You know, there's a mental aspect. It really, I think, helped in my healing, both physically and mentally. I think adaptive sports are a really great place to learn and to see what your limits, not what your limits are, but really what your limits aren't.
Therapeutic recreational therapist took me out on the outing to try out wheelchair basketball while I was still at inpatient rehab. We went out to the gym where they had practice, and I kind of got hooked ever since. My name is Anthony Caparella. I'm 38 years old. I have a spinal cord injury that I got in a car accident in 2009. And I've been active in adaptive sports ever since. When I first got injured, I was out there in a neck brace, and I could barely get the ball up to the hoop. You know, the first challenge was like, all right, we gotta start trying to make some baskets. I used to not be able to make it in the basket. Now I can make three-point shots. When you're first injured, it helps to just let you know that there's other possibilities, that just because life has changed, you know, that you can still, it's called adaptive sports, so you just have to adapt, and it's part of life. Woo, come on. When I first got injured, I got to be around others that had similar disabilities, that have been participating in sports and dealing with their disability for 10, 20, 30 years. And it's like, for me, I was new into the disabled community, and I did not know a lot about being paralyzed in general. Now that I've been playing for 16 years, now, like I said, I'm kind of that veteran. So now we get these new players in, younger people or newly injured people. And now it's my responsibility to be that person that's teaching skills to the new players, or, teaching them things off of the court as well, just how to deal with maybe getting into your car, or, how to get back to driving. Just learning how to traverse society now as a, newly injured person. So each piece of equipment is custom made, and that means it's cost a lot of money, and because not a lot of them are made.
It's more expensive for someone with a disability to do sports. than it is for someone without a disability. Isn't seen by most insurances as medically necessary or needed for life, which is frustrating because the idea that moving is a privilege and not a right is wrong. Being healthy and being fit and being active is good for everyone, disabled or not disabled. But I think it's even more important for people with disabilities to have access to activities and adaptive sports, because it doesn't just provide activity, but it provides community.